you guys have been talking about this bullshit for the last like 30 minutes, man. I have nothing of substance to add to this conversation. I don't know anything about the geopolitical situation going on, but 3,000 miles away, and quite frankly, I don't care.
You shouldn't have to. Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
it's bullshit that we've been forced to. I mean, you still don't really have to care about it, but it's bullshit that something that really is pretty much irrelevant to us is like potentially bringing us to nuclear war. It's like, come on.
Yeah.
Now,
Well,
yeah, because if Russia gets that desperate and the nuclear war breaks out, they're going to hit America because they're like, as far as Russia is concerned, we're the main people in the war.
Yeah, I mean, well, just recently, Putin was visiting Kursk to like congratulate commanders and like inspect, because they took it all back. Ukraine spent a lot of their best men and equipment to do this gay little incursion into Kursk and like brag like, oh look, we're sticking it to Russia. We took parts of Russia, and they Russia took it all back. So Putin was going to like give some medals and shit like that, and his helicopter was targeted. And I don't think the Ukrainians, maybe they have like spies, like because it's easy for Ukrainians to blend in Russia. But I think that they probably got some information from the CIA. Like, how else would they know exactly which helicopter and where he's going to be and all that? So, like, as far as Putin is concerned and Russia's concerned, there was an attempt on his life with American help.
I
Well,
see.
That I don't know how strict and like vetted like the Russian officers are, but as far as officers go in the military, I could easily believe a lot of like the Russian officers want more of the LGBTQ way of life
What does that mean?
and
What are you talking about?
the Western style freedom.
Oh, well, actually, that was a big part of. Okay, you're gonna get me into something I actually do know a little bit about. So that was a big deal back in the Cold War, right? So the whatchamacallit. So I'm about to get into why I hate Jackson Pollock, right? So Jackson Pollock, his art is shit. It's trash, garbage, and there's a reason for that. He was actually a CIA asset, where basically they would demonstrate and show off. They'd be like, "Oh yeah, look, look at this, Russian people. This fucking idiot can make it big over here with this bullshit splatter painting art, and so can you." And it was a way to get Russian citizens to defect from the Soviet Union and come over here.
Huh. I never knew that. That is fascinating.
At least that's my theory. Oh, my nose is growing, dude. Look,
And
I told you, look.
I do believe like 10% of Russians really do want like our way of life.
Yeah, I could say maybe 10. But I feel like that's honestly that's a good like pulse on it, but the other ones really don't.
Oh, I know. That's what I'm saying. But like
Yeah.
10% of because like when the
Oh,
sanctions hit and
Dorian
all
Gray,
that, it'd
Dorian
be
Gray
like
reference. There's a Dorian
most
Gray
most
reference.
To be the fifth column.
But like when our sanctions hit and all that, like there's no more Pornhub in Russia. Most Russians are like, good, we don't need that. Then there'd be like this disgusting guy who looks like he hasn't left his room in the commie block in 3 months. Comes out crying. It's like, it's gone. It's all
No more
gone.
tuning. Yeah, I mean, whenever I hear about like, oh, such and such website you can't access in Russia, there's no proof of that.
That is
Like,
true.
I know that YouTube went down for like didn't even go down. YouTube slowed down there in August last year, and there were all these articles, Russia bans YouTube and all this crap. It's not true. Like Google is no longer able to maintain their servers there. So what happens is like slowly YouTube has degraded as far as the quality of service they can provide there a little bit. But the media ran with it and was like, oh, Russia's banning YouTube. I'm like, no.
And yeah, because like really, I don't think they want like, oh, they're threatening to shut down the McDonald's. Like most Russians, okay, so no more slop food.
What
That's
happened with
fine.
that? There was one guy that owned about 1,000 franchises in Russia, and he was the main. I think there were like 1,500 locations, or maybe 2,000, and he basically has like a backdoor deal with McDonald's. They're getting all the food was already coming from Russia because Russia has a policy basically they don't import any food, and that guy that was running the 1,000 locations basically just like it's called Kusni Tochan now, which is like it's the name doesn't translate that well, but it's like the bomb. It's like this shit's the bomb. It basically is what that means. But it's like they didn't change the menu at all. They changed the names and they like avoided intellectual property disputes with McDonald's, but it's like still the same crap. And McDonald's doesn't want to openly do business there, but they're still getting paid under the table a little bit.
Well, and like the Tucker Carlson interview when he went to the grocery store over there, and like he was just buying all these products that were apparently sanctioning Russia, but they were still on the shelves over there.
Yeah, I still see there's like Snickers bars and like shit like that. That supposedly. So what's going on is either the companies are quietly still doing business there, or people buy it through Kazakhstan and Turkey and Georgia and all these countries that are not sanctioned. You know.
I can't believe one of our businesses would actually, you know, put pride of nation and sanction our enemy over a few dollars.
Right. And also, like, it's a fucking candy bar. Like, I can understand if it's, like, stuff that's important to defense or whatever, but it's a fucking candy bar.
Really, if we're fighting them, we ought to be giving them Snickers bars and chocolate and sugar and fast food.
Yeah. And, like... I saw this thing about like they need this German piece of equipment that generates a really clean signal, and it's like the input for a radar, and then that's amplified and like modulated for how radars work. But Russia did not manufacture those things on their own, and they're like, oh, this is just one example. It was some Forbes article, like this is just one example of something that's going to cripple them, and they won't be able to finish any aircraft. I'm like, you think it's going to be that hard for them to figure out some way to import that? Like, come on, man.
No, because the German equipment's made in China, too. They can just call China and get it directly.
Exactly. Or even if it is made in Germany, you set up a shell company with a halfway believable story of why they need it in any country that's not unfriendly to Russia. So, yeah, you can do China, Kazakhstan, Turkey, whatever. And then, maybe not Turkey, I don't know. But... yeah, they're not gonna. It adds a cost to a lot of these projects, but it's not gonna make it impossible. You know, and if it's effective, like they really can't get it, they'll figure out a way to make it. I mean, it's not like they don't have engineering and shit. You know what I mean?
It's not like they don't have the internet,
right? And they actually have plenty of like they have a talented workforce. But one thing I'm always confused about, and this might be a stupid question, but whenever I look at anything, like I'm looking at my throttle for DCS World right now, there's all these parts on it, like where the fuck do they make all these super obscure things that are only in like one product?
Wait, what do you mean?
Usually just China. Like,
even in China, there's like you know, like there's, I don't know, maybe I'm just retarded, but I'm like, where do they make like the cords for a mouse and like, just shit like that? Like, it seems like there are so many things in the modern world that are needed to make like anything that it's like, okay, where do they make that? And like, where do they make the equipment that makes that?
Well, I've got good news for you. There's a show that used to be on TV called How It's Made. And I'm pretty sure there's probably a YouTube series where they're still doing that.
I'm sure, but like, I don't know. It just boggles my mind. Like you think about.
Have you ever looked into like how many factories and like how China has just factory divisions the size of an American city where it's just factory after factory. And they're not like giant automotive plants where they're making a big thing or anything.
No,
it's just, a quarter-acre building where they make, 1,000 power cables a day.
You just reminded me of something else that freaks me the fuck out. Like, do you know about like the empty cities over there?
Yeah.
That's fucking eerie, ain't it? Like
it's like a big real estate racket there because the government doesn't really like people don't want to invest in the stock market there because it's like really
if you don't own at least 2 homes in China, you're just a fucking broke bastard. You're not gonna make it.
Exactly, and like to get married, like to get a woman, you have to already have 2 homes and like.
Oh,
Yeah.
speaking of homes, dude. So I'm thinking about somewhere down the line, purchasing a home in Japan because the real estate there is insanely cheap.
Yes, brother. They don't like the foreign citizens and all that, but Japan's pretty cool with business. That's why I'm trying to get an
No,
LLC together
no,
where we
no.
buy a house
You
in Japan and a big boat that can do
you
ocean faring traverse.
you do not have to be a citizen to purchase property in Japan. You can be a
I heard
foreigner.
about that. I heard about that, and like they'll let you live there. You won't be a citizen, but who cares? Like,
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm not
it's
going to stay there permanently.
yeah,
right. I saw a
it's
thing. It was a house in it wasn't Tokyo, but like Osaka. It was a house in Osaka. It was really nice, and it was like 100 grand.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
no, dude.
literally cheaper than like the place I currently own. So, yeah.
I guess it was like a year ago. I mean, I was looking at houses in gated communities on the outskirts of Tokyo for like 80 grand.
Yeah. No, I'm
Yeah.
telling you, man. I don't know
Have you
what's
looked
up
at
with I don't know what's up with them and not wanting to buy property, or if they have more property than people, or what's going on with that. Probably because of declining birth rates,
It is
maybe.
kind of there's more property than people. Like there hasn't been a population growth over there very much. So there are a lot of vacant houses sitting around.
Yeah, I want
And
me one of them spooky haunted houses.
well, that's what I was
Or
looking at. 'Cause,
find
like
one
I
that's
found
had
a
like
couple.
100 suicides there or
Yeah,
something.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
like
what
I
I want.
found like
I want them fucking spooky house, man.
like an 85-year-old house in the country of Japan. I found a couple like 70 to 100-year-old houses, and like looking at them, like wow, the carpentry in this just looks amazing. This is all real woodwork and all that, and like this
Yeah,
isn't
man.
drywall bullshit.
They got
And
some
then like
nice shit over
what's it
there.
cost? And it's like 40 grand.
Yep, they got some
Huh.
nice shit over there. I'm telling you. You
Have you
can
looked
Now,
at
get
Italy
granted,
at all?
what?
the lot the house comes on is like the size of a modern F-350.
Yeah.
Um, the house has like, I mean, I'm a little uncomfortable as tall as I am. Really investing in a house with like 5'10" ceilings. Like Brandon, you're gonna feel so big when you go to one of those houses.
Oh,
When you
I mean,
start hitting, you're
I
gonna start
under-
hitting your head on the doorways.
I do. I understand that, and that's okay. You can there. I can assure you that you can still most likely find places that can accommodate you for on the low. Like
It's called a
definitely,
Hyatt.
definitely still cheaper than anything you'd find here.
Yeah, I don't understand how our economy is supposed to work over the next like 20 years.
It's
Oh,
just,
we print
it's
print
not.
money until it all fails, and we go to martial law.
Like
Yeah.
fucking like the economy is just fake to begin with. It's not real. Like it's all just bullshit.
And I hate it because like I have a little brand of autism that's like when the economy's not real, why does my money have to be real? Why
Yeah.
does it only count when my
Literally,
money's
you can literally just think of the economy as the substitution for the bartering of goods, and then that's it. That's
no,
what the
that made
economy
great
is.
sense. But then like the whole like we're just gonna print money till your goods are worth nothing compared to what the money is, and we're still gonna make you owe money on your goods through taxes and stuff. And I'm like, what?
Yeah, isn't that fun?
Yeah, like,
Like
so,
how
like
you never really own your house.
yeah, because I'm like thinking, well, if I got a cheap house,
They
I
can
could just
fucking
own
take
it and
it.
grow my own food
Well,
and all that. I wouldn't need money.
so-
Oh wait, I
They
have
don't
make
want you
money
to do
every
that.
year.
They don't want you to do that.
That's the
They
thing,
make
right?
it like almost impossible.
They
And like,
they do. I mean, you can within reason. Like I mean, like you own your house once you pay the bank. Like, you know.
Yeah,
Then you
try
own
not
it.
paying your property taxes.
Well, yeah, I
You-
know
you
that.
know what? Do you know what the average income, like the average wealth of the average American looks like when you take out the 1,000 richest Americans?
Tell me about it.
38 grand, I don't know.
No, the average American already just makes 38 grand.
Yeah.
But no, like we're no richer than Bulgaria and Eastern Europe per capita, basically, on what we can spend if you take out the 1,000 richest Americans.
That's crazy. And like one thing in Russia, jobs definitely pay a lot less, but housing is so much cheaper, and people don't even know. It's like recent that they even know what a fucking mortgage is. Like, Like, it used to just be you lived with your parents, saved up until you could afford your place, and then you just bought it.
Well, that's
Yeah.
how it works. Like Mexicans, like like as an American, if I ask somebody, "Hey, would you front me the money to the house? I'll pay you back over like 10 years so I can buy a house and raise a family and all that." They'd be like, "No, just go get a mortgage."
Right.
But like, if you're their favorite, immigrant who does all this cheap labor for them, they'll buy you a house to raise a family in, and you can pay off over 10 years.
Right.
Well,
Um,
that's the thing, right? It's like wait, what is this? Is this a fucking trolley? No, I don't want to go that way yet. Uh, damn it, I lost my train of thought because I was thinking about this trolley. We were talking about mortgages, I think. We were talking about
and like Mexico and like
yeah, man. I don't know. Like I'm.
I can't stomach the idea of paying a bank twice the value of my fucking house in interest.
I know it's
I'm only paying the equivalent of my house's value and interest. Thank you very much.
yeah, same.
Yeah.
Not twice, but yeah, no, yeah. The house, the after interest is calculated, I'm paying about double the list price.
But
Yeah.
the way you get away with that is that you move, you sell it, and then you buy a different house.
Well, that's
You
kind
take
of the
the
plan.
yam and you smell it.
But I was
And you
really
ask
expecting
yourself one question.
a housing collapse sooner than later, and I was gonna have this house way better than it was when I bought it. So when it came back up, I'd sell it for like 30% more.
Oh, dude, yeah, we're
Yeah.
already on like the fast track for that shit. We've already added so much to this fucking stupid house. Like we built an entire fenced-in area with a gate. We replaced the entire septic system. Like we've done some work on this place, man.
My question is, who's buying all these fucking houses? Like, it seems like there's still liquidity in the housing market if you put it up for sale. Yeah, it's taking maybe a month or two to close it now, but
But
who can afford it? Who's buying all
no
these
one,
fucking houses?
no one. People are going into crazy debt.
Well,
I'm
but
buying
mortgages
my
won't
house.
even like. Maybe I'm wrong because I haven't tried, but like mortgages, I thought like the bank won't even fucking look at you unless you make 100 grand or whatever. Like,
Well, it
Oh
depends on the price of your house.
no,
No,
dude.
you can only spend 20. You can spend. This is of your after-tax income, and
Yeah.
if you have no
So
student loans, no medical debt, none of that stuff,
yeah.
you can
So
spend 29% of your after-tax income, on a house, your mortgage.
yeah. So
It-
take that.
Your credit score just determines your interest rate.
Yeah, which we got the best we could with what we were given. The interest rates are still kind of just absolute dog shit.
Oh,
right
mine
now.
got fucked. Like in the process of closing on a home, my interest rate went from 4% to 5.25.
Yeah, and it's gone up since then.
No, my interest rate's locked now, but it was
No,
crazy.
no, no. I'm
'cause-
saying, yeah, ours is locked too. I'm just saying, in the time that you bought your house and we bought ours, it increased even more.
Oh yeah, but like between when the day before I got a pre-approval, I asked the bank to do the pre-approval check, and by the time my house closed, my credit score dropped like 90 points.
Damn.
And no, because it took a while. Like when you go looking for a house, you got a month to get it done.
Yeah.
If you got to get pre-approved again, and they check it again, and that hard inquiry hits, your credit score drops again, and your interest rate goes up.
Isn't
It
that
literally
awesome?
forced. Yeah, it's fucked up because I'm like, oh, if you don't buy the first one you like, you're just fucked. It's
Yeah.
going to get more and more expensive. You better buy
That
now and
sounds-
just sign the paper.
sounds like there's some Brazilians behind that.
You know?
What do
Yeah,
they-
Brazilians.
What does Brazil have to
Yeah.
do with this?
Can you hear me? Viva, it actually worked.
Oh, I'm talking to Vanini.
The King of Puppets did it. I can't believe you can transmit your voice, and you'll never believe
But
what's
I mean, really,
I don't
on the
know.
housing thing.
I pretty much never stay up this late. I don't know if it's because I took Phenibut or what, but I'm just like, it's fucking
My logic
four,
on the
fucking
house is-
4:40, and I'm like not even that tired.
I'm not gonna lie. When I was buying the house, I thought a loaf of bread would be about $14 right now.
Yeah, like we were fucked.
Yeah, I was like thinking, oh, this mortgage number, oh, dude, give it 5 years. That'll be like a week's pay. You know,
Yeah, I
No,
mean,
no. wages did not go up that fast. Inflation, we did not hit the real hyperinflation, which I mean we do. We get like 10% a year still, but we weren't getting the 40% a year.
Like they're massively gaslighting about. I think still they're massively gaslighting about inflation.
Me and my neighbor did the math, and between like 1970 and like 2023, it averaged like 7.5% a year.
Yeah. And they use a bullshit method for calculating the CPI.
Oh no, because they started like swapping TVs into CPI instead of eggs and stuff. And I'm like, yes, a TV got cheaper, but like a loaf of bread is, I don't even know the word for this 20x.
I think some boomers can't wrap their head around how in the 80s your rent was $200 a month, maybe $300.
But a TV cost $800, and they're like,
exactly.
"Oh, you can buy that big TV. You got all the money in the world." I'm like, "Brother, that big TV is a quarter of 1 month's rent."
Yeah, exactly.
That ain't how that. Yeah, it's because they're fucking retarded. That's the like they don't understand. Like when you talk to fucking boomers, they don't understand that.
Well, they think that we're all like people with no impulse control, and if we could just stop buying stupid bullshit and video games for a couple months, we'd have money for a house. And it's like, fuck, no.
But it's the cheapest shit. Like half the video games we buy cost the same as a gallon of milk.
Right.
Yeah, they don't understand. That's another thing that bugs the shit out of me. It's like they're like, well, what do you mean you can't buy a house with making $30,000 a year? And it's like, are you fucking stupid? Like, what?
Well, yeah. When they graduated college, that was like a decent salary.
Yeah, and they joke, it's like, well, when I was your age, I made $30,000 a year, and I did fine. I'm like, brother, yeah, you did. A car was $1,500.
A house was $40,000.
Yeah, like, no, it's so dumb, dude. Like,
I did this project for the last actuarial exam I just took. They had like, as part of the study software I used, there's projects in R with like real data, and one of them was analyzing house prices, and it was like median home prices in different neighborhoods in Boston in 1981, I think. And dude, the median home in Boston, which is like fucking expensive, was $12,500 in 1981.
That is absolutely nuts to think about. Like
no, sorry, it was like 30-something thousand, but still, like that's still insane. Like $30,000.
No,
for a house in
Jim.
Boston's like one of the more expensive places in the country too.
Yeah,
like,
that's what I'm saying. It's they don't understand. They cannot wrap their heads around the fact that you cannot just graduate high school and go make big money in the glue factory anymore. That's not how it works. Back in the day, yeah, it worked. You could graduate high school, go work at the fucking Nike factory, and you could provide for your entire family and own a house. Great, good for you. That's not how it works anymore.
They're not wrong. If you can get a job in a factory in America now, you still probably make really good money in manufacturing. The issue is like you've got to work because there's only so many jobs for that. Only a few of us can get those jobs.
Yeah, I mean, I've looked at factories around here. They're trying to pay $18 an hour, and it's like you can't live on that.
No, you gotta go to maintenance. The factory line workers, they've got that job reduced down to like, do the same thing 1,000 times. You can't mess it up, no matter what part of the spectrum you're on. You're good.
Like I'm telling you can't, because when I graduated with my master's degree, my first big boy job, I was making $16 an hour, and 40-hour work weeks, and I was doing what my degree was supposed to be used for. And for the record, I don't talk about where I work or what I do when I'm on stream. I don't just because. But this wasn't what I do now. But this was like I make more.
How old are you?
31.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna die soon. I'm like geriatric. But I now, like, with mind you, it's about finding the right field. You know what I mean? I have an associate's degree, and I make quadruple that currently. Like that's what's crazy to me. I wasted so much time in college. I wish I had figured out what I wanted to do sooner.
Yeah, no, it's like, I get the college degree, oh, you'll be a big banker guy and all that. I'm like, the the banker after my degree pays $18 an hour, $20 an hour. And then like I went back to work at the mill with all the guys that never went to college. Like, dude, we started at like 25 when we got out of high school. We're all making like 35, 40 now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, well, damn. Why'd I go to college? You know, you got to spend all that money to go to school to make half of what you make if you don't go to school.
Yep.
Yeah. I think I'm really hoping that I can get a job in the actuarial field before AI starts to really take off.
No, you got it into management. You got to make buddies. You got to be in the tax write-off area of the company.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Like
man.
that was the whole thing about the bank is they're like, you know, you look at like in the finance field, you know, bigger finance is a much bigger part of our economy than construction. And you know, so they're like, oh, and I'm looking at the bank and like, we've eliminated 60% of our
That
jobs
shows how
just
ass
because
backwards.
of Excel and stuff.
That shows how ass backwards our economy is. That like finance is bigger than construction.
Yeah.
Oh no, yeah, finance and construction is a bigger chunk of our economy than the construction is.
Yeah, that's really fucked up. I mean, like I understand there is some role for finance, like directing investment and like connecting
But
investors to
When
projects and blah blah blah. But like, it's not that big.
when finance is a bigger section of your economy than what it's financing.
Yeah, that's what's totally killed Canada is like over financialization of everything.
Yeah. I mean, like manufacturing is not bad. It's still 15%, 15 to I think 18% of our economy is manufacturing.
Yeah, that's more than people think. Like and I'm not complimenting. I don't think it's because of Biden or whatever, but there was actually a pretty decent like resurgence in manufacturing from 2021 to 2020 now. You know.
It's 2020
Oh, yeah.
now.
No, I think
I like
inflation
that.
was great for it because all these companies that invested millions of dollars into this plant, you know, say they put $500 million into making like, you know, this big plant and all this inflation hit and they could sell their product for double what they were planning on selling it for when they built the plant. And they're like, oh, we can expand on this now.
Pay back the loan earlier or
Right.
whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, inflation's great for that. That's why like, I figured they're going to keep doing inflation because that's the only way we're getting out of the national debt is like, you know, oh, we owe $36 trillion. Okay, well, let's just make, you know, the dollar worth nothing. So $36 trillion can be the equivalent of 100 billion. That's what we call it today.
Yeah,
And you
I
can
always
pay it
hear
off like
people
nothing.
talking about like modern monetary theory and like, oh, debt doesn't matter. I'm like, at the end of the day, it still does. I got in an argument with somebody about this, not like a serious argument, but
You
I was
don't
like,
escape it. You just change it to a different problem.
exactly. I was like, dude, I don't care what kind of like fancy modern monetary theory crap you tell me. Like, it does matter at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Um,
It's common sense, man.
You know,
Yeah, and it's kind of like I think economics is a field that's really prone to like people want to have this like, oh, you know, if you really understand it on my level, then you'll see that common sense doesn't apply. And it's like, no,
No.
it
no,
It,
You know.
it still does.
the level
Yeah.
of the factory worker is just as valid as the level of the PhD economist in economics, I think, you know.
yeah, and I'm not trying to like completely shit on an entire field that people dedicate their lives to studying or whatever. But I think it's like you hear like pop economists or like people that like really people think they're like some sort of fucking genius because they quote Paul Krugman once. Um, and it's like no, man.
It's like, fuck, dude.
Like, oh yeah, I read like some snarky Paul Krugman quote once, and I'm fucking Nobel Prize
Yeah,
economist
they're
now.
fucking. They have a Jimmy Neutron brain blast in their eyes, rolling to the back of their head, and they're like, "I get it, I get it."
And it's like, no, you really don't.
Which, and again,
Um,
I understand the bare minimum of many different topics. The economy is simply one of them. But I understand. You know, like I have a brain that can understand patterns, and that's enough for right now.
Yeah. I think the modern monetary shit is just wishful thinking because, like, why wouldn't you want to, like, if that could be the truth, like, oh, you know, we can print as much money as we fucking want and other countries have to just suck it up and deal with it. And as long as we are more powerful than other countries, they have to just suck it up and like accept that our bonds aren't going to pay shit in interest because we're the only option in town.
The country,
Well,
they gotta suck me
I think
off.
a lot of these other countries, you know, they took their intuition and all that from what the West was doing, and they started copying it. And they're like, "Yo, we're in the same boat now."
Right. Like Japan's debt is horrible. Japan's debt is like 300% of GDP.
Don't come any closer.
Yeah, and ours is only like 1.8, 2, 2.5.
I don't even know if it's that high. Maybe it is now.
Debt's currently 36 trillion. GDP is like 28 trillion.
Yeah.
So yeah, about 1.5.
Yeah, you're right. Damn. I mean, I remember even just like 10 years ago, it was like 98%.
GDP wasn't he that YouTuber that got ousted for being a pedo?
Fortnite fools.
That's what the Epstein files are coming out for, but no, really, like, as my dad describes, it's like no, all the modern economies and stuff, we're all just on a razor blade sliding down that sharp slope.
We're all just a razor blade sliding up a shark.
And the whole goal is just to be the last one to fall.
That's a really good analogy.
You know, everything's gonna fall. It's just you got to be the last to fall. You want to fall a little slower than they are.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's why we went ahead and bit the bullet and bought the house with a higher interest rate.
I did it because my dad was gonna help me, but then like something happened at the loan thing. It was gonna be like basically a business venture. We were gonna fix up this house and make money on it, and then they didn't put his name on the deed, and he just said, "Well, it's yours."
Damn. Son, I'm sorry about this, but my name's not on that. I can't help you fix her up anymore.
Dude, he's been helpful. I bought a truck from him, and like I owe him like 2 months of payments, and he's not being a dick about it. He's just like, "Well, you're still gonna pay me."
No,
One way or the other, yeah.
Yeah, I wish more people in general were like that. They were just like, well, I mean, fuck, you're still gonna pay me at some point.
It's like, you know what? If you do go that broke, all you're gonna do is end up back
wait,
on the
hang on,
farm
hang on.
working for me. You know, I'll get all that out of you.
Yeah, hold on, I get to practice my transatlantic accent real quick.